think the most formative part of my being is being raised a Quaker. And Quakers have one idea, which is to seek that of God in everyone. It's the idea that everything that's been created is a reflection of God. My father was Jewish and my mother was Lutheran, and they met during World War II at Bucknell University in central Pennsylvania. Neither one of them was very active or satisfied with their traditions, and they looked around and they found Quakerism. So I grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, with a robust Quaker meeting there. And when I was 7 years old, I went to a conference in Cape May, New Jersey, and it was a long hall on the ocean, and I could see all the adults' bellies and belts and buckles, and all of a sudden I heard this voice fill the space. It crackled with love and energy, this voice. And this voice said, "It's a wonderful bird here too, that people of all colors can love each other like sisters and brothers." And that voice belonged to Martin Luther King. And his words entered my cells and have stayed there since I was 7. I went on to become an educator, a history teacher, an art teacher, and I loved making art with people. I'm an extreme extrovert, and art helps me understand what I'm feeling because I don't have easy access to my feelings. And I made a painting with 230 children at an elementary school in Virginia. And when it was all done, an 8-year-old girl named Meredith Miller said, "I wish the whole world could see our painting and then the whole world would be happy." And then she said, "What if the whole world made a painting together?" And that answered a longing I'd had to make the beloved community of Martin Luther King more real. And I began to make murals, especially after somebody gave me a book called The Singing Tree by Kate Sarity. This book is about how racist white people were towards each other, towards the different clans in Europe, the Hungarians, the Russians, the Jews, the Gypsies, the Germans, and took place in World War I. And one night her daddy, who was in the army, the Hungarian army, was crawling on his belly with his battalion to escape the enemy. And everything was dead. There was no life. There was no trees. There was no buildings. There were no humans. It had all been destroyed by war, like now in Gaza and in Ukraine. And the soldiers were terrified. When the dawn came, they looked up on the hill, and there was one tree that had survived. And in that tree were birds from hundreds of miles who aren't normally together, singing a song that had never been sung before. So Meredith gave me this vision of the whole world making a painting together. And that story gave me the vision of the Earth as the singing tree of the galaxy, because we're billions and billions and billions of miles away from any life that we know of. And we can choose to destroy each other and our Earth, or we can create beauty that's never been seen before. So I've developed a structure called the Singing Tree Mural Process, where people can collaborate to envision healing to heartache and solutions to challenges. And we use trees as the model, because all the leaves of a tree work for the whole tree. One leaf never says, there's not enough sun, you can't have any more sun, this is my sun. You're in my place. You're better than I am, or I'm better than you are. Leaves don't do that. The roots send nutrients to the places that need them. The forests send nutrients. So I use the model of trees and forests to invite the whole world to make a painting together. And behind me is the nectarine singing tree of peace. That's here in Keystone Heritage Park in El Paso, Texas. And we've made 133 murals with 25,000 people from 52 countries, and the whole world is invited to keep making murals. We make the beloved community one mural at a time.
Outstanding. Can you share a memorable success story or accomplishment that your organization has achieved? I mean, you've just mentioned so many already that it feels like an understatement to ask that again. But out of all of those, was there one thing that really stood out that just encompassed seeing your mission come to be?
There are so many. One that I'm very excited about right now is that we are making a singing tree mural in Cyprus, which is one of the most divided countries for the longest time on our planet. There are Turkish people in the north and Greek people in the south. 3 years ago, we made the Cyprus Singing Tree of Peace that had 4 artists from the north and 4 artists from the south who co-created and designed this mural together, which is on the UN buffer zone wall. We're just beginning our next project. And again, we have artists from the north and artists from the south, as well as activists. And we're in the process now of designing this. We're meeting twice a month, and it will be complete at the end of October. So I'm very excited about that. I also want to share that I had the privilege of going to Sarajevo in 2014, which was the 100th anniversary of World War I, the place where World War I began and where the story of the singing tree came from. And I facilitated a singing tree with about 20 young people who designed it. And we took it to the Children's Festival, which is held after the terrible wars in Bosnia, so that the children could feel safe again. And 500 people contributed imagery and sent love to people that were experiencing floods in their country. And I'm still in touch with those young people.
That is beautiful that you could build those relationships across borders. And I know you speak that a lot too, that it's one thing to be grateful of where you live, but it's another thing to be grateful to go in and help others experience a better life, even if it's for a little bit. What are the future goals and aspirations for the organization?
Unity Through Creativity would love to train more people in the Singing Tree Facilitator process. We have 10 trainers now. We'd love to make that 50 in the next 3 years, and then more. We want to use this process in the divided country that we live in to help people see that we can co-create together no matter what our different political ideas, racial ideas, religious beliefs. So we hope to have many more hosted, facilitated conversations where people can see their common humanity. And we'd love to partner with universities. There are now many conflict resolution and peace-building programs in universities, and very few of them use art as a tool in that process. So another dream we have is to have peace-building through art be part of the curriculum that people are getting taught, along with intellectual and emotional practices of conflict resolution. Adding the creative part makes it so much fun and makes a visible result that people can see.
Awesome. Is there anything else you would like to share about Unity Through Creativity and its work?
We've been doing this work for 20 years, and the thing that happens every time is that 91% of the people who participate say that they believe people can accomplish great things together more than they did before they make it. And we have a dystopian future being told to us over and over. Democracy can't work. We can't get along. There can't be peace. The robots are going to take over. The tiny minority is going to rule. Grassroots labor won't work. We demonstrate over and over that everybody's ideas are valuable, that everybody's vision is needed, and this is like democracy on steroids, and we want to make it visible to people.
Outstanding. Laurie, thank you so much for just taking the time to sit with me and really give light and a little bit more context to how Unity Through Creativity came to be, where its purpose and passion came from, and where it continues to go, not just for today, but for tomorrow. It has been an absolute pleasure to be a small part of this ongoing creativity that you have, and I look forward to being part, as well as promoting this and bringing more people into the fold that is Unity Through Creativity. Thank you.
Thank you.